Well, hey everyone, it's Keith Farron, your Bible coach here, and this kind of came on the fly. I have Daniel Arroyo with me, the CEO, founder of Humble Lamb, premium Bible publisher. Daniel, you and I have known each other for a whopping 15 minutes.
Right.
And I can already tell that we're gonna be talking a lot more than just this interview, but it's something where a lot of people, if you've been following my channel, then you know that I have in the last couple of years kind of made my primary Bible the BSB, and I think just in the last 2 days I was made aware of this new Bible that you are producing with your company Humble Lamb, and that is the BSB maker that might very well be the coolest BSB Bible I've ever seen. And so I reached out to you. You said, let's talk. We ended up connecting, and it worked out for both of us to go live today. So Here we are. But so Daniel, before we get into the BSB Maker Bible, tell us a little bit about your journey, because you have not spent your entire life publishing Bibles.
Right.
So how did you get to the place where you what did you do before, and how did you start Humble Lamb, and what's the mission of that? I would love to hear that, and then dive into this BSB Maker Bible. That's amazing.
Yeah, no worries. No, pretty much what happened was that when I graduated from college in 2012, I started working at a small little publishing house in Oklahoma. And, and I kind of learned a little bit the ropes of like printing and publishing and things like that. And I remember I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, like I'm finally at a point where I can get myself a nice Bible. I'm no longer a broke college student. And I was like, I'm going to just get the best Bible. It doesn't matter what price it is. Because I really value, the Bible. I value the Word of God, and as I went to, Mardell's, to the different Christian bookstores, I went online. I realized I couldn't find a Bible that I really loved, that ticked all the boxes that I wanted. So then I got to thinking, like, I wonder what it would take to design my own Bible. Like my perfect Bible. And I had a friend at the time, and he's still a good friend of mine, Jonathan Dumar. Him and I were like, hey, let's build, let's typeset and design a Bible that's perfect. And he helped me with the InDesign files and everything. And then it was like, okay, we have the perfect Bible, and this, it was a perfect Bible for me. And of course, you can design a Bible, but then you need to typeset it, like from Genesis to Revelation, and like cross references and make sure that everything kind of fits into place and everything's in the same page. And then it was like, yeah, we can't do that. But we found a company in I forget, I think they're in Florida, and then they're also like in North Carolina, but they're called Scribe. And they do typesetting, Bible typesetting. So then we gave them our Bible design, and they were, and we said, hey, can you typeset this? And they were like, yeah, we can. It's going to be $11,000, at the time, 2017. It was like, well, back to the drawing board, because we can't afford that.
Right.
So that's kind of how it began, and slowly, I don't know how much detail you want there, but
no, I love it.
But pretty much the Lord, we realized, hey, if we want this to ever be a thing, because I realized you can't just print one Bible. You need to have like an MOQ, right? What they call a minimum order quantity. And that was, for us, it was 1,000. We needed 1,000 Bibles. So it's like, man, like that's going to be a lot of money to do. So we said, well, we need to create a company out of this. So Humble Lamb really began with a desire for me to find my perfect Bible. And I couldn't find one. So I had to do my own. And to do my own, I couldn't really afford it. So I had to turn it into a business so that perhaps my perfect Bible was also somebody else's perfect Bible. And that's how we started, and started growing from there.
Yeah. So when did your first Bible get released where the people could actually go to humblelamb.com and purchase it?
Yeah, that was actually in 2018, the summer of 2018. We had what is now our NKJV Shepherd. At the time, it was just NKJV by Humble Lamb. Yeah, it was that summer where we launched it, and we had first a small batch of 500 Bibles, and our printer was having a hard time getting all the details that we wanted with the Bible. It would be the Shepherd there that you see. So they sent us 500, then they sent us other 500. But yeah, that summer we officially launched, and we sold our first Bible, which was not to a family member or anything. So that was like a pretty cool moment to somebody in the internet somewhere liked our Bible enough that they purchased it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And then, so what caught my eye is not even listed here. At least people don't think it is, because it's in this upper little tiny corner here. But you can see already that you've got, a King James version, a New King James version, a New American Standard version, and a New Living Translation. Right. But you've got this BSB maker, and if for those of you that are familiar with the Berean Standard Bible, if you've ever gone to Bible Hub, then that's the main translation from that team. And you and I were talking, Daniel. I was saying that if the ESV and the CSB and the NLT and the NIV had a baby, it would be the BSB. And about 2 years ago, they put it into the public domain, which gives you, kind of freedom to do some cool things with it, me to be able to share it and promote it and put it on the screen. You can print it in Bible studies, all this. And you'll see that the team at the Berean Bible kind of believes in what you're doing enough that what they've done here is right on their main page, front and center in bright red. They've got a link to your Kickstarter that's all about this Maker Bible. So why don't you, before so if people want to check that out, you can either go to Humble Lamb, or you can go to Berean.Bible and click that red link. So so at Humble Lamb, click the pre-order now. On the Berean Bible, click the red, and you can see that. So tell me about how this whole BSB Maker Bible came about, and how what makes the Maker Bible unique in the world of BSBs. I know what I'm looking forward to, and I want to hear what kind of drew you to do all the different things, because you're doing a lot with this Bible.
Yeah. So for your viewers that might not know, but whenever you work with a translation, for example, like the NLT that we did last year, you work with the publishing team, which in this case is Tyndale. They produce the NLT, and they kind of have a list of rules that you can and can't do with the translation. A lot of it is just stylistic rules on when you're supposed to have a paragraph break, how you're supposed to showcase quotes and poetry and different things like that. Mm-hmm. So there's some restrictions. Some translations, like for example, the NKJV, they will have longer lists of to-dos. You cannot do this. You have to do this. So with the BSB, it's public domain. So you can do anything that you want with a translation. Obviously, not change the words, right? You could change the words actually, but Humble Lamb, we we don't think we're good enough to change any of the words of scripture. So we always work with the publisher. So in this case, Bible Hub, to just use exactly their text. But in terms of the creativity of what goes into the Bible and how it's designed, in this case, we have just a lot of leeway. So I always think about this, for thousands of years, the Bible has remained unchanged, right? It's double column, very encyclopedic, like look of the Bible. And, for thousands of years, it hasn't changed. And I understand that because you have a large text that has to fit into like this book, right?
Right.
But I always think about, if God could design the Bible, if Jesus were to say, hey, I'm going to design a Bible, how many different ways could he design the Bible? Right? Like millions of different ways. So, for me, I'm not a theologian. I'm a designer, and I like to think about the different ways that we could compile the Bible text and make it more palatable, more alluring to read and to spend time with. Because after all, the Bible is the most important text in the world, right? It's the word of God given to us, and it's in what we do. We try to bring honor to the design of the Bible because it's the most important text. So just to kind of say, like, we. You know Tim Nichols, right? Or do you know, not really?
I feel like I know the name. Tell me more.
Okay. He's another Bible reviewer alongside with Tim Wildsmith.
Okay. Yes, I have. And now that rung a bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I know Tim.
Okay.
Wildsmith. I don't know Tim Nichols, but yeah.
Yeah. So Tim Nichols is another big guy in premium Bible reviews. He reads the Bible like once every 3 months. I mean, and he's a pastor. He's just, it's so inspiring because it's just like, man, I struggle to read it once a year. He reads it, once every 3 months. And I was talking to him. He's come here to our office several times. And I was telling him, like, hey, out of the public domain translations, like, because there's a lot, there's like the web, the BSB, and then there's, some other smaller translations. I said, out of all of them, you read the Bible so often, like, which one do you feel like it's the most, the strongest translation? He said, yeah, without a doubt, it's the BSB. He's like, I'm surprised, like, nobody, like, very few people know about it.
Right.
And so that's kind of what led me towards that rabbit hole, and just kind of looking at the different translations and seeing what was, what was possible. And that's when I talked to John from Bible Hub, and I was like, hey, we'd love to do a BSB translation in a premium edition, of course. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that's kind of how it started, and how we got to start working on the BSB.
Yeah. So okay, so taking the maker, we've got some people watching live. We've got some people from here in Mason City and Evansville, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indiana. We got it all over the place. So nice. Nobody in Seattle where I'm from, or in Kentucky where you're at. So but we've got people all around us here. So,
nice.
So what makes the Maker Bible unique? And because again, I've watched on that, by the way, for those of you watching, when you go to the Kickstarter page, there is about a 3 or 4 minute video, and it will show you some of the layout of those. And if you order this Kickstarter ends, I think, was it November 9th or 10th or something?
The 10th, yeah, November 10th at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, which gives you the opportunity for, even if you only pre-order one of them, you still get $50 off, which for a premium Bible is amazing. And if you order like 10 of them or something like that, you get up to $90 off per Bible. And so again, this is a premium Bible. This isn't, $29.99 on Amazon. And but it's one that you're going to keep forever. And so, and pass down and all that kind of stuff. So what makes the BSB Maker Bible unique from just, it's the text of the Bible with a really nice leather cover?
Yeah.
I think that's so often what people think, but what I know the Maker Bible is very different from that. So you tell us all the different things that I've even missed.
Yeah. So I'll start kind of with the construction of the Bible and how that kind of works. Let me show you guys here a sample that we have. So most Bibles, like even if it's a leather Bible, they'll just have a leather cover. But for the Maker, it actually has two pieces of leather. So it has leather on the outside and leather on the inside. So it makes it very flexible, very durable. And then like, if you notice here, the inside liner is tucked underneath the outside cover that is kind of brought over and then stitched. So I don't know how many of you guys have ever had a Bible that starts to peel here at the edge. So this here, that's never going to happen because it's stitched and glued. And then another common problem of Bibles is over time, this starts to crack here.
Right.
And then like literally the cover comes off of the book block. Right. Well, in this case, this is made of leather. So this hinge here is leather. So you could open and close the Bible, so much, and it's never going to break because it's leather. So this kind of construction is called edge line binding. And that's what the Maker has. It has edge line binding. It has goatskin cover and goatskin liner, which is really, really high quality. And then we also have a variation that has calfskin and then the liner is goatskin. So these leathers, not all leathers were created equal, right? If you see a Bible that just says genuine leather, I mean, it could be anything from pigskin to bonded leather. But we use only the highest quality leathers, which is full grain, which is the top part of the hide. It's flexible. It's going to patina. It's going to last you for generations. So that's number one. The construction of the Bible is really, really high quality. The other is we're the only ones in the industry that are doing 4-edge gilt, where, when you close the Bible, it's gold. And then when you open it, you see like this image. So for the Maker, it actually has Jesus Christ here. I should have brought a Bible. I have one in another room here. But so it has the 4-edge gilt. So that's just a very unique thing. You could also choose color gilt, which again, it's gold. It's got gold foil, but when you open it, a different color appears. So like for our pink Bible, it has pink. For our blue Bible, it has blue. So it's like a blue undergold. So that's okay. Somebody from Wisconsin.
So Terry's already ready to order.
Awesome.
Okay.
So that's just the outer construction of the Bible, and then of course there's the layout and the inside of the Bible. Do you want me to jump onto that, or? Yeah,
I'd love to. Yeah, what are people going to see when they open it up, and because some of the things you've done on the pages, because that I would say, well, I love the BSB, and I completely agree with him that it's just such a fantastic translation. But one of the limits of it being in the public domain and not having a huge publisher behind it is that there aren't a ton of different options. And so people tell me all the time, I bought a BSB, but it's got no maps in the back, or I bought so anyway, there, people can download their different digital versions of it, but I know that you've done some very unique things that I know that I have missed. And of all the things I love about the BSB, I'm excited to get my hands on one of yours. So tell us about what people are going to see on the pages themselves.
Yes. So, I mean, it takes our team quite a while to design a Bible. We think about everything from the layout. So generally there's two layouts. You can have a double column layout, or you could have a single column layout. So this Bible has a single column layout, which really lends itself to having a more comfortable reading experience, kind of like if you were reading a novel. It's very beautiful that way. It's easy to read because it's single column. Tim Wildsmith, he says, one of my favorite, like single column Bibles are my favorite.
Right.
So that's number one. It's a single column layout. And then at the beginning of each chapter, each chapter begins with a beautiful drop cap. So this Bible, it's called the BSB Maker Edition, and that's bringing homage to Jesus Christ, the maker of all things, right? According to John chapter 1, the Gospel of John. And these drop caps that we designed, they're A to Z. They each feature like a hand, like a hand of God making something. So you'll see him like grabbing the world, or you see him making music, or you'll see like a timepiece that he's the creator of time, like everything, right? So at the beginning of each drop cap, you have this beautiful full color drop cap, or at the beginning of each chapter, you have a beautiful full color drop cap that kind of reminds the reader of the maker. He's the maker of everything. So you have these beautiful drop caps, and then something that we've done from day one when we started the company in 2017 is we included the illustrations of Gustave Doré throughout our Bibles. Now, when we first started, oh, by the way, I should have shown you guys here, but this is a sample. We're still working on like the coloration and everything of the maker. But you have these illustrations from Doré. And as you can see, we have like full color illustrations throughout the Bible. So Doré, in the 1700s, he created these illustrations of the Bible. 220 of the current canon, and there's a few more if you go into the Apocrypha. But the illustrations are wood carvings of different scenes of the Bible. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful masterpieces. So from day one, our Bibles included these illustrations. But over the years, one of the things that I was thinking was like, man, it would be amazing if we could add color to these illustrations and make them like lively and more beautiful, all while respecting the traditions, the contemporaries of Doré and the way things were colored back then. So our team, we undertook this challenge, and we added color to all 220 illustrations, and just really brought the illustrations to life like never before. So for the first time in any Bible, period, we have the full color illustrations of Gustave Doré throughout the Bible. So as you're reading the Bible, as you're coming to different texts, you're imagining in your mind's eye, the different story, David, Goliath, and then you'll come to this beautiful illustration of Doré of, David killing Goliath, or, Jesus, healing the sick. So it's just something to really enhance your reading experience. As you're reading the Bible, you'll come across these illustrations, and it'll just kind of bring awe and hopefully wonder as you read the word. So that's a big thing that we're doing. I think, a lot of people are already saying, oh, like we want this on the other translations and stuff. But the BSB is really the first one to ever have that. Another thing that of course it will have the maps. We've developed the maps ourselves with a cartographer and also with an archaeologist, Dr. Michael Hossel. And he's an archaeologist. He goes and he digs up the latest, greatest information. So the maps are really up to date. And then working with a cartographer, a map maker, it's like we know we have all of the right locations, and actually the maps have the correct locations. So literally you could use our maps that we have in our Bibles, look up the coordinates and go to that exact place. So that's just, something really cool, because when we first launched our Bibles, we would just get maps that were available to use for royalties. Mm-hmm. But we're like, no, we know we can make maps a little bit nicer, a little bit better. And so we launched the maps ourselves, and now the BSB Maker has these maps all in the back. And the last thing I'll mention that's kind of cool is that the words of Christ on all of our Bibles, including the BSB, they're blue. So it has words of Christ in blue. And the reason why we did that is two main reasons. Number one, there's around 300 million colorblind people in the world. They cannot distinguish between red and black. So for them to have a Bible with the words of red, it doesn't really matter because they can't distinguish it. They can distinguish blue. And the reason why we did it is because we just had somebody saying, hey, I'm colorblind. I can't really enjoy that. But it would be really cool to have a different color. And we kind of looked into it, and it's like, yeah, blue is like the perfect color. Also, there's the psychology of color. And when you read blue, it's usually more calming, more meditative. So having the words of Christ in blue just really fit perfectly. And yeah, so we pioneered that as well. And the BSB Maker has the words of Christ in blue. So
yeah. That's just listening to all of the different things, because I watched the 3-minute video yesterday after I reached out to you and was like, oh, this is super cool. And it talks about colorblind, but it doesn't go into all the little details. And just like, I knew that you had, until this live stream right now, I knew that you had the drop caps in there, but I thought that they were all the hand with the world, because that's the one that I had seen. I didn't realize that you had different ones for every letter drop cap. And the care that you and your team have taken. I mean, this was not something that you started working on 3 weeks ago.
No, no, it takes a long time to come up with designs, and a lot of testing and going back and forth and changing our mind, and and then also just listening to our customers and saying what they want. Mm-hmm. A lot of the innovations that we've done have just been thanks to our customers and just listening to them and hearing what they have to say. So
Terry asked this question, so I'll let you check that out.
Yeah. Can you please explain how we order the BSB after backing it? So the way it works, so right now we have a Kickstarter going on Kickstarter.com. Yes, thank you. Pretty much you click that button there that says back this project. And as you click that, it's going to take you through, the different rewards to choose from. And so you click whichever reward you want, and then you'll kind of check out. But the way Kickstarter works is that you are not charged until the campaign ends on November 10th. So you could order whatever you want now, and then you won't be charged until November 10th, which is when the campaign ends. And then once the campaign ends, once you're charged, then we will email you through Kickstarter a survey for you to choose your color. So we have, a lot of colors in the Bible: brown, yellow, blue, inkstone, red, green. black, all these different colors. You will get to choose your color option that you want, and also the type of gilt. So whether you want something like this that has the illustration, or you want something that has the color, like the blue under gold or something like that. Each color has their own unique color gilt, and you can choose that. And then we will make the Bibles, and then in May we will ship them out to our customers.
Right.
So that's how it works. We've been doing Kickstarters for many years, and it's we didn't know we didn't know what to expect with this BSB Maker. It's a new translation. A lot of people don't know about it, and we were just like, well, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. When we did the NLT, we raised 197,000. So we were, my goal was like, man, if we can just beat that, if we can get like to 200,000, maybe 250,000, that would be like crazy, But as you guys see, like, God has really blessed. We have over $350,000 raised already. So that pretty much just allows us to print more Bibles and distribute more of them, which, I think that the BSB is the next big translation. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And as Humble Lamb, as a premium Bible publisher, we're just going to do everything we can to let people know about this awesome translation.
Mm-hmm. So a few questions. One, is the BSB in paragraph style or verse by verse, and will it come in different font sizes?
Yeah, so that's something that we oftentimes think about when designing the Bible. It's actually going to be a paragraph style. The reason why we went with paragraph style in this edition is because it just helps, it reads better. And paragraph style really allows people to read more. Whereas verse by verse is really great for Bible study. Or if you're a preacher and you're up there, you want to find the verse quickly, and it's like, yeah, okay, there it is. Or if you're just doing a deep Bible study, knowing that you're not just going to read through the whole Bible, you're pausing, you're contemplating, and verse by verse works really well for that. But for this edition, our goal was for people to first really get to enjoy the beautiful language used in the BSB, and to be more familiar with it. So it's going to be paragraph style. And then for font size, we're using a 10-point font, which is on the large side. Most people, including older eyes, they will not have a problem reading a 10-point font. It will read well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a 10-point font, which is good for older eyes for sure.
Yeah, and to give some context to that, if you have a BSB, which mine's downstairs because I was reading it, but if you have a BSB, I believe that the standard BSB block is a 9-point font. Is that right? It's either 9-point or 9.5, but I think it's a 9-point.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Font size is a really interesting thing because different fonts, different typefaces will be larger or smaller depending on what type of font it is, right? Like, some of them are bolder, some of them are thinner. So it's like you could have a bold font that is 9 versus a thin font that is a 12, and the 9 bolder one will read easier. So there's just a lot of things that go into it, and I don't know exactly what typeface Bible Hub used, and I don't know what size they use either, but I know for us we use the Milo Serif font, which reads incredibly well even in smaller font sizes. But having it be a 10-point font with the Milo Serif, it just reads really, really well. It'll be very easy. Like, I have the sample here. like I can read it from afar, no problem. If you're close, even easier. So yeah, it won't be a problem for the vast majority of people.
Yeah. And I think I know the answer to this next one. This says my grandson was just diagnosed with dyslexia. Do you have any Bibles that can help him when he reads? And I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
No, I mean, I would defer to you. Yeah.
So not at that premium Bible, but I did see. I will have to find that. Donna, if you want to reach out directly to me, if you just email support@keithfarron.com and ask that question. I did see, and I can't remember what translation or where I found it, but I know there was a Bible that was created specifically with dyslexia in mind. And then Terry asked one other question.
Well, if I can quickly go back to Debbie's question there, or Donna's question. I had a video call yesterday with Klaus from 2K Denmark. He's the one that developed the dyslexic font. And there's a Bible specifically for dyslexics, and it was designed by 2K Denmark, Klaus. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if you put like dyslexic Bible on Google, it'll come up. Also, I'm pretty sure Keith could quickly find that for you and share that with you.
Yeah. Okay. So the one that I know about is I'm just going to show you here. We're kind of getting off track, but we're here to serve.
It's okay.
So here we go. So if you go to lifeway.com and you search on CSB Grace Bible, that one I know. The CSB is also a fantastic translation. It's probably the closest translation actually to the BSB that I've found. But there's a CSB Grace for kids and a CSB Grace for adults, and that's one that has the typeface and all that kind of stuff. So, so that would be what I would check out. So one other question that Terry had: can you explain the size of this version compared to your other ones?
Yes.
So was the yellow one that you were holding, was that one of your other ones, or was that your
this is our NKJV Bible.
Okay.
So the NKJV, people love this translation. It's actually probably our #1 selling Bible on our website. It's an NKJV. This uses a 9-point font.
Okay.
So for comparison's sake, let me see here. It's like there's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, because I can read the one that was Genesis, and I couldn't read the other one.
Yeah.
So my monitor's not far enough away for me to be able to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. So in comparison to our other Bibles, it's got the second largest font. The largest font is an 11-point font for our KJV Lion. And this one's a 10. So it's like they're really, really close to each other. Also, our NLT Sunrise Bible is a 10-point font, and people have no problem reading it. I mean, we've never had even, we have thousands of reviews on our website, and sometimes somebody will say like, oh, the NKJV has a smaller font size. I have a hard time reading it, but nobody's ever said that of our 10-point fonts. So this shouldn't be a problem. Good.
Well, again, I want to just encourage people, go check out humblelamb.com. The only negative of this entire thing is that I have to wait 7 more months.
Yeah.
I don't know. I may have to take a special trip to Kentucky and grab mine a few weeks earlier. Or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get you your copy a little sooner.
Okay. Well, when that happens, I'll do a special unboxing. Maybe we can get on another live and do it together or something like that. We'll figure that out. But but I love what you're doing. I love your heart for these projects and for God and his word and getting it into people's hands and heads and hearts. And I love even that you with somebody who you and I, again, we just met over email yesterday or 2 days ago and now today, but I'm hearing you even talk about the kind of your Bible built for reading and the different layouts that are built for study and whatever. And one of the things that I'm sure you've never heard me talk about, because you and I didn't know each other, is I talk about how there is a difference between Bible reading and Bible study, and both are massively important.
Yes.
And we need to be doing both. And it's kind of that idea of, I say, we need to watch a movie before we study the scenes. And we would never pause it after scene one and then say, let's discuss that. And so, but a lot of times we go so quickly into Bible study that we forget the value and the beauty in Bible reading. And so I'm sure that I'm going to be recommending the Maker Bible for many, many moons to come. So
thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I look forward to answering any questions. When you go on Kickstarter, you could send me a message, directly, and I'll be answering any questions you may have. And just here to serve.
Okay, one last question that just popped in. Can people outside of the United States join the Kickstarter?
Yes. Yeah. So we ship these Bibles all over the world. Again, we've had several Kickstarters before this, and we've shipped every single time, right? We're here to make a lasting impact for many, many years. One of the questions that often comes up is like, have you ever not delivered a Bible that, people backed on Kickstarter? And the answer is no. Every single time we've delivered every single Bible as promised. And we ship them all over the world. We have experience shipping them, everywhere. Literally we get orders from Japan, from Australia, from Israel, from, you name it, we've shipped
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah, we have some sent there too.
Yeah.
So no problem. We ship international.
Well, that's great, man. I was hoping that we could hop on and chat for 15 minutes, and according to my thing, we're at 43. So, thank you for taking some time out of the middle of your Thursday, and for creating all these different Bibles. And I just love it, and love what you do, and just want to honor you as you honor Christ. So, thank you so much for everything, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor Keith, and I as well. I just learned about your channel. I'll be checking more things out, but I think it's awesome that we have ambassadors for Christ, on YouTube, sharing about his word and helping people as well in the process. So thank you.
Sure. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to log off right now, and we will see you. If you want me to do more live streams like this, I do a lot of videos and record those. If you want me to do more live streams, again, shoot me an email to support@KeithFerrin, and let me know some of the ideas of what you would like to have these kinds of conversations where you can ask your questions and stuff, because I'd love to do more of it. All right, everyone. We'll see you.